Hello and welcome back to my channel. On today's video, we're talking about a fragrance from the house of Loewe. I'm excited. Today we are talking about Loewe. I love this brand. I think I'm the only YouTuber out there that talks about Loewe. I have really fallen in love with the brand. And that's saying a lot because the first thing I bought from Loewe, the first fragrance I should say, is right behind me. It was Un Paseo por Madrid, and I think it's called Descubriendo Colón, which was part of their private line. I have to show you. Let's just show you here really quickly now that you're here on a Loewe video. So this is the old packaging. So they've changed it 3 times now. The original one was gold lids, then they changed it into this packaging, and now it looks kind of like how the new ones look, like this, but it's a type of frosted glass bottle. So it's changed a little bit. It's changed quite a bit actually. So if you open this one up, and this was probably a bad experience for me because I was like, oh, I'm so disappointed. So this is what the box looks like. It says Loewe on it. And well, if I can ever open it. First and foremost, I don't know what that is on the actual box itself. That's how it came. I didn't do that. I know someone's going to comment out there that I did that. I did not. And it's just, I don't know. It's just kind of, the sticker is not stuck on properly. You look at the back and the adhesive looks like I don't know what's going on there. If anyone can let me know what happened there. I guess these could technically be stuck on by hand, but I don't know. That's a cheap excuse to justify it not being done properly. If you're sticking it on by hand, someone should probably be able to do it properly if they're doing that all day, every day. Just my opinion, but it is what it is. Yeah, I was not impressed with this one itself. The smell is decent. It's okay. It's not my favorite, but I do have an appreciation for the artistic vision behind the actual fragrance inside of this actual bottle itself. That was my first purchase by Loewe, and I was not impressed. And because of that, I was a little hesitant to go into this Loewe kick. We have reviewed quite a few of them since then, and every other one that I've reviewed is fantastic. I like the fragrance, it smells delicious. I like the packaging, it's simplistic. It's timeless, but it's modern, but it's also playful because whenever we think of simplistic, we think of timeless, it typically translates into boring. And this is not the case with Loewe. I find that to be a really nice, little quirk of the actual brand itself because everyone is going to be a different color. They really tend to be vibrant colors. They tend to be a little bit more fun. The actual lid itself is made out of wood. It has the Loewe logo up there, and it says Loewe Solo Atlas on it. So really nice packaging, very simple. If you're interested in what the box looks like, it is like this. It says Solo on it, and it says Solo Atlas. If you get anything from the brand or the actual line of Solo, it's going to have the same picture. It's just going to change the name down here. But other than that, it's all the same. And if you are interested in what it looks like inside, because some people are, I used to be one of those people that watched videos just to see what the box looked like. And if it looked ugly, I would not buy a bottle. I mean, priorities. So this is what it looks like sitting inside of there. Very nice, simplistic packaging. You can also recycle this. It's not going to be a super heavy actual cardboard in it, and it is recyclable. So getting into this fragrance, when I first sprayed it, I thought this smells very familiar. It smells like the rest of the Lo Solo collection by Loewe. So it kind of smells like Solo, the original, the Eau de Toilette. Kind of gives a little bit of a nod to Solo Cedro as well, but not quite there. And it also gives a nod to a fragrance that I just did a review on, and it's this one, Cologne Celeste by Celine. Now, Cologne Celeste doesn't have a long lifespan. It does die out after, I would say, maybe 30 minutes to an hour. It's not good when it comes to longevity or performance. That's not what it's designed to do either, though. And it kind of gives you that same neroli opening, that very sharp contrast with all the citric elements in the actual fragrance itself. And then it starts to dry down, and this one takes the cake for originality. It smells so much better than the Celine Cologne Celeste, in my opinion. Cologne Celeste has its audience. It's obviously a cologne. It's going to be very simple, very clean, very minimal. This one's going to have a little bit more of dynamicness to it. If that's a word, it's going to have a little bit of nuances to the fragrance itself. It's just chef's kiss. Now, if you're not a neroli fan, steer clear of this fragrance because it is neroli heavy. It is going to be that same neroli that is used inside of Cologne Celeste. It is going to be that same neroli that is very popular from Neroli Portofino by Tom Ford. And it can be loved by many and it can be hated by a lot because neroli tends to be used in other cleaning products such as, Febreze, or I think Mr. Clean uses it as well. So because of that same reason, it can be a note that is either loved or hate, or it can kind of trigger memories. Like, I used to think that Neroli Portofino by Tom Ford smelled like Febreze, and I just couldn't wrap my head around why people spent $2.50 back then for a bottle. But the fragrance itself, this one does have that same neroli, but it's contrasted and blended in with other actual notes themselves. So this fragrance was launched in 2021. Let me know down in the comments if this actual fragrance was launched in 2021 or if it was repackaged, because it seems like all of their fragrances say launched in 2021, and I get that that might be this formulation, but they all did a new repackaging. They all used to have the original Loewe packaging and changed over to this one itself. And the perfumer for this fragrance is listed down here below because I cannot pronounce it and I'm not going to try. So let's get into notes. So at the top of this fragrance, we're going to get pink pepper, Tunisian neroli, and mandarin orange. So that mandarin orange is very beautiful in this fragrance. It's almost kind of like a metallic-y type of mandarin note, and it's very reminiscent of Louis Vuitton fragrances and even Bulgari's Les Gems collection. So it's something that Jacques Cavalier does very well. It kind of seems to be in this fragrance as well, even though he's not the perfumer, but it's a very metallic-y type of mandarin orange up top. It's kind of sharp and citric, but it's going to also be a little bit mechanical and artificial, even though it's not an artificial note. And you also get Tunisian petitgrain. So the petitgrain in here is really nice as well. It's kind of a background note for the fragrance itself, but it is in here. Then for heart notes, we are going to get salt and Egyptian orange blossoms. We're also going to get Moroccan mastic. So the salt in this fragrance is very captivating because there's no other way to describe it than if you've ever tasted salt and if you've ever smelt the sea blowing and it's like that salty type of quality. It's kind of refreshing, but it's not a good or a bad actual note or actual thing to smell. It's just quite there. It just sets the mood, it sets the tone, and that's what it's doing in this fragrance as well. It gives you that nice little tartness with the actual mandarin and the actual neroli and that beautiful salt note. It's just very well done. In the base notes, we get some interesting qualities that you wouldn't think out of this fragrance. You get musk, peony. Peony in here is very well blended into the amber, which is another note in the base here. They kind of create this creamy dynamic. They blend into each other. It's kind of like smelling in the background a very luxurious, expensive, heavy whipped cream of peony and amber scent. Just luxurious and delicious. You also get Haitian vetiver, which is going to add that green element in this fragrance. It's very green. It's very sharp. It's a very sharp green herbal type of actual smell. And then you also get Lily of the Valley, and Lily of the Valley in here is really, really good. It kind of takes that Lily of the Valley from, like, for example, Lucky by Dior and adds it to this fragrance. It's a masterpiece of a fragrance. It's just going to be a fragrance, like I said. If you are a fan of the rest of the solo collection by Loewe, you might not appreciate this fragrance. And the reason for that is not because it smells bad. It's because it has a lighter composition. It's a lot more creamy. It's a little bit more soft, a little bit more subdued, a little bit more supple, where the rest of the actual solo collection is very refreshing. It's very vibrant. It also has a kick and a punch, and this one is not going to have that. It does have those elements in this fragrance, but the fragrance itself is going to be very soft, very delicate, very quiet, and very old money aesthetic, if you will. So I do think this fragrance is a must-have, especially if you are a fan of neroli, if you are a fan of Lily of the Valley as well. It's also a very prevalent note in this fragrance. It's just very well blended. It's a very beautiful fragrance. I think that it is very good for a unisex fragrance, but this fragrance itself to me works as a unisex fragrance. I think men and women can both wear this one and appreciate it because it has those delicate touches, but it's also going to have those very rock and roll, those very sharp contrast notes that really blend into the actual delicate notes and create a very mystifying, beautiful fragrance. Now, the problem with Loewe, and this is kind of the same thing for this fragrance. The longevity and performance is not going to be stellar, or it's not going to be killer. You're going to get anywhere from 3 to 5 hours. Five's pushing it. But I do think you're going to get anywhere from 3 to 4 if you decide to do all the extra steps of, adding a cream and then, putting this on top or locking it with I think there's primers and fragrances out there, then you can make this fragrance wear a little bit longer, but it's not going to be a long wearing fragrance at all. But it is just so good. So let me know down in the comments what your thoughts on this fragrance are. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Which one of the Loewe fragrances is your favorite? I know some people have commented for me to do videos on the rest of the Un Paso por Madrid collection, which is their private line. And I might do that. I think I will. I think I will go back and explore. I think I just kind of got mad because as a perfume lover and a fragrance collector, I was kind of mad that they changed the packaging. Even though I didn't like the packaging of this one, I was like, now I have to start all over to have a clear, consistent collection. And that's kind of what made me mad. But by the way, you can get these on FragranceNet. So these in the old packaging, not in this one, are a lot cheaper. So you can get this bottle or this fragrance or some of the other ones from this actual fragrance line on FragranceNet, and they're a lot cheaper. Not sponsored, by the way, I'm just letting you know. And you can also get this one fairly well discounted on FragranceNet as well. I think I got it for $70, so not a bad deal. I mean, these are pretty expensive. I actually have the prices here. So if you were to get this brand new, 100 ml size bottle would be $160. So it's pretty expensive. It's not the cheapest bottle out there, and it is listed as an eau de parfum. So I'm not sure why we have longevity performance issues on this fragrance. I don't know. Maybe it's just they're using very light notes in this fragrance altogether. Who knows? Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts on this fragrance are. I also do have a giveaway for this fragrance if you have stuck around until the end of the video. I did get shipped an extra bottle of these. So if you want your own bottle of Solo at Last by Loewe, comment down below what your summer fragrance is. Also make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe. And I can't wait to see who wins this fragrance. And I also can't wait to see what your summer fragrance is. Until next time, you guys, take care.